Hello friends, good evening. Welcome to Chandu biology classes. So let us resume our discussion on president. So in the previous class we gave the introduction when it comes to the part 5 of the Indian constitution. There we discussed about the union executive. The part 5, that is the union government, the central government consists of 5 things we told. That is every parliamentarian loves judicial control. That is what we learned to understand what are the things that are contained in the union government. That is part 5. It contains what? It contains executive. Okay, it contains parliament, also it contains what? Legislative powers of the president, then it contains judiciary, and it also contains what? Comptroller and Auditor General of India. And when we spoke about executive, here we will be extensively discussing about executive. When it comes to executive, we will be discussing about president, vice president, prime minister, council of minister and other officials. Other officials means other ministers. So we started with the discussion of president, okay, and article 52 says that there shall be a president of India. Okay, regarding article 52 we learned, and we also said that how the president is elected. But before that we also told who are the people involved in the election of the president. That we told what? It is called as what? Electoral college. That is, first one is elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of state legislative assemblies, and also elected members of state legislative assemblies of what? Delhi and Puducherry. When it comes to union territories, only 2. Okay, 8 union territories are there, but we are considering only Delhi and Puducherry. Next, we learned who are all the people involved in the election of whom? President. Then we learned how the election of president takes place. How the election, that is the manner of election, that is given in which article? That is article 54. It says what? The president is elected by system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Proportional representation means the seats are allocated as per the population of each state. That is, Uttar Pradesh will have more representation compared to Sikkim because the Uttar Pradesh has more population compared to Sikkim, like that. Then what do you mean by single transferable vote? That is, each person what will give? We will give ranking. It is not like general election where we will go and vote only one candidate. Here all the candidates you have to give priority, that is first priority, second priority, like that. So based on that the votes will be counted. Then we should reach the quota calculation. For the president to be elected, there is some quota that should be calculated. So before that we also learned value of vote of an MLA and value of vote of an MP. Value of vote of an MLA, what it is? It is nothing but the population of the state divided by number of elected MLAs in that state divided by 1000. Then that we got it as 20. If you are having a remainder, if it is 500 or above, we will add plus 1 to that. That we got it as 20 plus 1. All this we discussed. Then value of vote of an MP is nothing but equal to what? Total count of all the MLAs divided by total number of elected MPs. Okay, we got it as the value as 2, and if you are getting as whole number we have to get it. If you are getting 2.5 and above, it will become 3. If it is 2.5 and below, it will become 2 itself. That is what we discussed. The value of vote of an MP, be it from Uttar Pradesh, be it from Rajasthan, be it from Karnataka, be it from Andhra Pradesh, be it from Telangana, it is the same. But when it comes to MLA, it will vary because it is as per population. But when it comes to value of vote of an MP, it remains the same. Okay, all these things we learned. Then based on that we told single transferable vote, and the person who gets the least vote will be eliminated and his votes will be transferred to other candidates. Then the person who gets the quota first, that one person will become the president. All these things we learned. Then now in article 58 we were discussing about the qualification of the president. Before that we learned about the oath and affirmations, and also we learned about what? Oath we still have not learned. It is not about the oath. We learnt about, what did we learn? How many times they can be re-elected, and also we learnt which article? In the article 53 actually we learnt about the union executive. The executive power will be exercised by the president, okay, directly and also indirectly. 52 says that there should be president. 53 is about the power of the union executive. 54 is about people who are involved in the election of president. 55 is about manner of election. 56 about re-election. Okay, and also 58 we are talking about what? 58 we are talking about eligibility. Okay, eligibility. There we learned that the president, the person should be what? Completed 35 years of age. First he should be citizen of India, then he should be eligible to be elected as member of Lok Sabha. And another important thing now we will discuss is, it is called office of profit. It is called what? You should not hold office of profit. Office of profit means what? Now you have to understand very carefully, what do you mean by office of profit? office of profit. Okay. So, consider one thing. Suppose there is a person A. This is a person A is Minister of Broadcasting, Information and Broadcasting, IB Minister. Okay, IB Minister, the cinema movies also comes under this. Okay, this person A is also the head of central, what do you say, censor board. Okay, he is also the head of censor board. He is Minister of IB and is also the head of censor board. So already is the minister, he is also the head of censor board. Censor means you will see the movies, you will give the rating, U rating, UA or just U, like that. Okay, you are holding this position also, you are holding this position also. So this power you can use it here. Okay, the person A has some relatives or some producers or some directors who are close connection to him. So based on that, the censor board, he can clear out so many films. Okay, so you can use this power and here you can use it here. Okay, or you can use his power here. Okay, in law making, because he is a minister. So this power can influence here, this power can influence here, because they are totally different objective. Okay, this is different objective, this is different objective. So here what we are having? We are having something called conflict of interest. Okay, conflict of interest. This is something called conflict of interest. Office of profit means conflict of interest. This interest is having another interest. This interest and this interest are conflicting each other. That is the meaning of office of profit. That is why the word profit is used. Got it? Suppose, listen carefully. I will give one more basic example. Suppose I am a teacher. Okay. Suppose I am a teacher. Suppose I am teaching in some class and I have to evaluate the paper. And in the same class, my child is also studying. Okay, in the same class my child is also studying. Okay, so office of profit means we are talking about conflict of interest. So we discussed that for president there should be some qualifications. One is he should be citizen of India, he should have completed 35 years of age, and also what, he should be eligible to be elected as a member of Lok Sabha. And one more thing is, now we are discussing about office of profit. Office of profit, see here, that is also called conflict of interest. That is, one interest is in conflict with other. I was giving the example, basic example. Suppose I am a teacher, I am teaching in some class and my kid is studying also in the same class. Okay, so I have to evaluate the answer papers. That time what will happen? Although I may be fair enough, but what will happen? People will think I am favoring the student, favoring my kid. Okay, that is what? That is conflict of interest. Interest of my child and interest of as a teacher. That time what I should do? That paper should be evaluated by another person. Otherwise, it is termed as I am having office of profit. Okay, or that student or the child should be put in another class, because they may think that already I am giving the question paper at home. Okay, that can also be possible. So that is the meaning of what? That is the meaning of office of profit. That is why there should be no office of profit held by that person who has to become the president. This is the basic simple understanding you should have. Other than this, nothing required. Okay, nothing depth is required when it comes to office of profit. This much you understand. One interest is in conflict with other interest. That should not be held. Okay, that should not be there. Okay, but to ensure that this is not there, the parliament passed one act that is called Office of Profit Exclusion Act. Office of Profit Exclusion Act. From that act, some people are automatically removed. That is, from that they are exempted. Exempted means they are given some what? Exemption from that. Their office will not be considered as office of profit. Suppose I am the president, again I can become the president, because my office is not considered as office of profit. So who are all the people that are exempted? One is president, vice president, governors of states, okay, and ministers, central ministers, okay, central ministers and also state ministers, okay, central ministers and state ministers. That means what? President, vice president, governor, central minister. Central minister also include the prime minister. Okay, and state ministers. State ministers will also include the chief minister. All these people are excluded from office of profit. Suppose I am the CM, chief minister of this state. Okay, if I want to become the president, I can definitely contest in the election of president, because my office, that is the CM of Telangana, is not considered as office of profit. Why? Because an act is passed by the parliament excluding some offices as office of profit. Got it? So if they ask in the exam, what are the things that should be there to be eligible as the president of India? You should be citizen of India, main thing. The next thing is what? 35 years of age, should be eligible to be elected as a member of Lok Sabha, and then he should not hold office of profit. Okay, that is the things you have to remember, that's all. No, but when they ask office of profit, if they give an option, whenever the option is having conflict of interest, that is conflict of interest, office of profit means it is nothing but conflict of interest. One interest is conflicting with other, that's all, that much you remember. Remember the example of teacher and his kid studying, saying same class, that's it. Let us move to the next one. They are explaining again about the office of profit, that is they are telling people who are exempted from office of profit, president, vice president, governor, minister of central or state minister, these are all the people who are excluded from office of profit because they passed office of profit exclusion act or exemption act. Got it? That much depth is not required for you. Just remember office of profit, it is nothing but conflict of interest, that's it. Now let us see article 59, conditions of president's office. Conditions of president's office means, see, understand one thing, suppose a president, before becoming a president, actually you can see previously, don't consider Sri Draupadi Murmu, before that suppose there was a president Ramnath Kovind or even Pranab Mukherjee. Before becoming the president, he was member of parliament. After he became the president, is member of parliament, that will become automatically vanished, that will be automatically terminated. He will cease to become the member of parliament because president is part of the parliament but he is never member of the parliament. Member of the parliament is different, part of the parliament is different. He is an integral part of the parliament. He has some functions but he is not the member of parliament. If he becomes member of the parliament, he will become equal to other persons. He will become equal to all the other 543 members. Then how can we say that he is the first citizen of India? He cannot become the first citizen of India. So this person, suppose he was a member of parliament in Lok Sabha or he was a member of legislative assembly. Even from the state, the person can go and become president. Okay. So suppose the person was here or here. Okay, that person becomes president. They will cease to become the member of parliament. They will cease to become the member of legislative assembly automatically. They have to give up. Okay, that is the meaning of it. Okay. Now the president shall not be member of either house of the parliament house of the legislature of the state, and if a member of either house of the parliament of the house legislature of state based elected a president, he shall be deemed to have vacated his seat in that house on the date which he enters the office of president. Suppose I am the member of, what does it say? I am the member of parliament. Okay, if I become the president, on the day which I take oath and enter the president's office, my seat, member of parliament seat, will be vacated. Okay, from that seat, from which constituency I have fought, there will be re-election for that seat. If I am the member of legislative assembly of state of Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, if I become the president, that seat will be vacated. That's it. That is the meaning of it. Next thing is, the president shall not hold any office of profit, that I already told you, any other office of profit, entitled without payment of rent, house use of his official residence, and shall be also be such emoluments, allowances, privileges, parliament by law, and until provision of the office makes emoluments, allowances, privileges as specified in the second schedule. So what does it say? So much detail is given. I will tell in a simple way. So the president will be given a residence that is called Rashtrapati Bhavan. For staying there, he doesn't have to pay rent, no electric bill, no telephone bill, lot of benefits he will be getting. But with all those comforts and all these things, he will have a lot of responsibilities also. Apart from that, what he will get is, see here, he will get salary and allowances as per the second schedule. Second schedule tells about what? Allowances, emoluments and allowances. Okay, we learnt about what? Tiers of old PM. In the T territories, he talks about emoluments. Emoluments in second schedule is including even the president's emoluments. Okay, and how much is the emolument is decided by the parliament. Suppose as of now, we can think it is 5 lakhs. Okay, that cannot be reduced. Okay, parliament can again make law, it can only increase. You cannot reduce that. Okay, you cannot make laws which is disadvantage to the president. That is, you cannot reduce the salary or emoluments of the president. Got it? That is the meaning of this. Now let us go to the next article. Same thing, privileges, all these things. Now let us see. Now oath and affirmation of the president, article 60, very important. Oath and affirmations. So please remember, suppose I become the president, if I have to take the oath, it is not like I will go to the office and I will take oath like this. It is not like that. Someone has to administer the vote. No matter who you are, you have to administer the vote. Even if the person becomes a prime minister, first the oath for the prime minister is administered by whom? President. Okay. For other ministers also, it is the president. Council of ministers will be there. One person will become the prime minister. For him, oath will be given by president. And prime minister will say, please make such a person as defense minister, such a person as finance minister. For all these people, oath will be given by whom? President. Same thing. Okay, but when it comes to president, who will do? It is the Chief Justice of India. They have asked a question: who administers the oath of the president? It is the Chief Justice of India. Suppose on the date of oath taking, suppose the Chief Justice is not there. Suppose the Chief Justice is not there. He is the highest rank in Supreme Court. The second rank, that is the next highest judge in Supreme Court, he will administer the oath. Got it? But you have to remember, it is Chief Justice of India. Okay, he will administer the oath of what? Oath of the president. Okay, so the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of India will administer the oath. If in case he is not there, the next judge, the next in the hierarchy will become the person, he will administer the oath to the president. But you should understand the oath taken by the president. Okay, what does the oath, what is the type of oath that he takes? But before that, have a look at this picture. This is D.Y. Chandrachud. He was the one of the Chief Justice of India. Okay, Chief Justice of India before whom? Okay, Sanjeev Khanna. He was there. He was 50th. Okay, so he was the Chief Justice of India. He was administering the oath to Sri Draupadi Murmu. That is the picture. So you have to remember, it is Chief Justice, here is this president. So he will read same thing. The president has to read and take the oath. Now, what does the president take the oath as? The president take the oath as, that is very important than anything. See, do their job well and faithfully carry out their responsibilities. This is one thing. Okay. Next, protect and follow the constitution and the law. That is, protect and follow the constitution and the law, and work hard for the happiness and well-being of the people of India. That is welfare of the people. Here, this actually means it is defend the constitution. The word defend the constitution. So only one person takes the oath as a defend the constitution, that is only the president. Okay, no other persons takes the oath as defending the constitution. Prime Minister also never takes the oath as defend the constitution. Who is the defender of the constitution if they ask? It is the president. Okay, who is the guarantor of fundamental rights? Supreme Court. Okay, Supreme Court or Chief Justice of India, depending on the options. Okay, who is the guarantor? Okay, who is the guardian of the constitution? Supreme Court. But when it comes to who is the defender of the constitution? President. Okay, only president takes the oath as the defender of the constitution. Who defends the constitution? It is the president. That is why any law, if it is against the constitution, the president will not sign it. Now I will tell you about the law making process also. Now this is about the oath. Here what you have to remember? Defend. The word defend is very important because only president takes the oath as the defending the constitution, not prime minister, not chief minister, nobody. Also governor may also take defending the constitution because he is having the same rank of president in the state. He is the first citizen of the state, governor. Got it? Now next thing. Article 61 talks about the removal of the president. That is nothing but impeachment procedure of the president. So till now we understood election of the president. Now we have to understand removal of the president. So when we talk about removal of the president, instead of using the word removal, we use the word what? Impeachment. This word or the impeachment of the president or the impeachment procedure of the president is taken from which constitution? US Constitution. Okay, that's why I told you each and every chapter when we study, we'll revise previous chapters also. So it is taken from US Constitution. But why will the president be impeached? Because of the violation of the constitution. When the why it is impeached? Because of violation of the constitution. Suppose the president does some work which is violative of the constitution, that time the president will be impeached. But what is violation of the constitution is not mentioned in the constitution. Okay, that itself is not mentioned in the constitution. They are telling if the president violates the constitution, then we will impeach the president. But what is violation of the constitution? We don't know. It is not mentioned in the constitution. Got it? It is one of the drawbacks of the constitution. The constitution is very good. Our constitution is superb. Everything is good. But everything has its loopholes. Like that, our constitution also has loopholes. That is one of the loopholes. What is violation of the constitution is not mentioned. And impeachment procedure of the president. Till now I told you, no president has been impeached, no Supreme Court judge has been removed, no High Court judge has been removed. Why it is not removed? Because the removal procedure is very difficult. Okay, it is very difficult. Now we will see the impeachment procedure of the president. First is impeaching the president, then is starting the process, investigating the charge, removing the president. So what do you mean by that? Now see here, the president is a part of the parliament. To remove the president, either you can start the charge from Rajya Sabha or from the Lok Sabha. Okay, suppose I am starting from Rajya Sabha. Here Rajya Sabha total membership is 250. From this, to remove the president, at least 1/4 membership, 1/4 of total members, 1/4 of total members should give a sign that we have to review the president. So that charge will be sent to the Lok Sabha. Again here also 1/4 of the members should agree. Then the president will be called. Okay, the president will be called and he will be given 14 days notice. During that time, the president can come to the parliament and defend himself. He can say that I have not done this, like that he can defend himself. After that, after hearing this inquiry, all these things, then again they have to vote for the removal of the president. That is, it is with a special majority. Simple majority means it is half. If total members are 100, you have to get at least 50 or 51. But special majority means 2/3 of 100, you think. 2/3 of 100 is nothing but 66. 51 is greater or 66? 66 is greater. So 2/3 of the members of Rajya Sabha should agree, and again 2/3 of the members of Lok Sabha should agree. Then only we say that the president is impeached. Okay. Otherwise, if it is starting from the Lok Sabha, same procedure. 1/5 of the members should sign. Then what it happens? Then it goes to the Rajya Sabha. Then again they have to sign. Then the president will be given 14 days notice. He can defend himself. After that, it should again be passed by whom? It should again be passed by both the houses, not just one house. Both the houses by 2/3 majority. That is called special majority. That is 2/3 of what? Total membership. 2/3 of CR. 2/3 of what? 550. 2/3 of 250. This is very difficult to get it because there will be opposition party also. They may not agree with the government. Okay, so that is why it is very difficult to remove the president. Understand one thing, the removal of the president can start from Rajya Sabha also, or it can start from Lok Sabha also. Okay, got it. But when it comes to vice president, it is different. When it comes to vice president, it is different. I will tell you when we discuss the vice president. Now article 61 is talking about what? Impeachment procedure of the president. What is the grounds? Violation of the constitution. But what is meant by violation of the constitution? We don't know, it is not mentioned in the constitution. But what is the procedure? First, 1/4 of the members of either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha should sign it. Okay, the charges should be passed on to the other house. If it is Rajya Sabha, it will pass on to Lok Sabha. If it is Lok Sabha, it will pass on to Rajya Sabha. There also they have to sign it. Then the president will be called for inquiry or whatever. He can defend himself. Then that resolution should be passed by both the houses by special majority of 2/3 of the total membership. Then only the president will be removed. We will say that the president stands impeached. This is the procedure. This is spoken in what? The removal of this president is spoken in which article? Article 61. Please remember the article. Please remember the article. Now, I am telling 2/3 of the membership. What do you mean by membership? I told you when it comes to election of the president, only elected members take place. But when it comes to removal, understand one thing. When it comes to removal of presidents here, when it comes to removal of president, only parliament takes place. That states have no power. When it comes to removal of president, only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members take place. Only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. States have no role. But when it comes to election, I told you, members of state legislative assemblies of all the states, including Delhi and Puducherry, will take place. Elected members. But when it comes to removal, states have no power. Okay, got it. But only parliament has power. But in parliament also, that is in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha also, we have both elected members and nominated members. But here, while removal, elected, nominated, both will be eligible. All are eligible. Even if you are nominated, you are included in removal of the president. Even if you are elected, you are included in removal of the president. Got it? Elected, nominated, it doesn't differentiate when it comes to removal of the president. But when it comes to election, it should be elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and also states. But when it comes to removal, don't contain anything about the state. Don't talk about the state. Talk only about the parliament. Lok Sabha, elected, nominated. Rajya Sabha, elected, nominated. That's all you remember. That means what? All the members of the parliament. All the members of the parliament, that is all the members of Lok Sabha, that is elected, nominated, all the members of Rajya Sabha, elected, nominated, will take part in the removal of the president. That's it. Got it? Next thing. Now article 62. Okay, it is talking about vacancy. So holding election till the vacancy of the president and the term of the office person elected to fill casual vacancy. Suppose now today, as of now today, my term as a president is over. Okay, still the new president is not elected. That time I can still be holding the office of president till next 6 months. That is, within that 6 months you have to conduct the election of the president. Within that 6 months there should be a new president. Suppose if I am standing again as the president, I can only be elected. but within that 6 months there should be election as per the constitution. Who is saying that? Not the parliament. The constitution is saying that within 6 months you have to hold the elections. After the expiry of the term, please hold the election within 6 months. Actually, it will be held before the expiry of the term itself. Suppose this is the last year or something like that, or only 6 months are there for the expiry of the term. That time itself election will be held and the new president will be elected. Suppose in worst case, although the term is expired, still the new president is not there. That time another 6 months time will be there. Before that you have to conduct the election of the president. The same person can be elected again, no problem. I told you there is possibility of re-election. How many number of times in India? Any number of times. But in USA it is 2 times. Got it? And the term of office is 4 years. Here it is 5 years. That is about the vacancy. So what are all the ways vacancy can arise? One is expiry of the term. Vacancy can arise of what? Vacancy, let me see here. I think it is given here. Okay, let us see here. Vacancy. How the vacancy of the president can arise? One is expiry of the term. Another one is death of the president. Another one is absence of president. Absence of president means suppose our president has gone to some other country. That time there is no president. That time vice president will act as the president. Okay, while vice president will act as the president, that time he will act as the president of India, not the chairman of Rajya Sabha. That time there will be deputy chairman in the Rajya Sabha. That person will act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. While acting as the president of India, the vice president will not act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Otherwise, he is automatically ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But once he is acting president, he will not act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. That means he will not go and sit there. Okay. Now, one is expiry of the term. If there is death of the president, if there is absency, another one is illness. If the president is unwell, that time also vice president will act. Suppose in worst cases, vice president is also not there. Okay, vice president is also not there. That time what will happen? That time the Chief Justice of India will act as the President of India. Like this, there was one case. Okay, I think in 1967. Don't worry about the year or something. That time there was no president also. I think V.V. Giri or some person passed away. I will give you complete details in the next class. Okay, then there was no vice president also. We had to have the president of India. That time the Chief Justice of India is Muhammad Hidayatullah. That is, his name is Muhammad Hidayatullah, you have to remember the name, because he was the only Chief Justice of India who served as also the President of India. Okay, he was the Chief Justice of India at that time. He also served as the President of India, because there was no president and there was also no vice president. So that time Muhammad Hidayatullah became the President of India. This is very important data, this is very important fact which you have to remember. Got it? That's all about the president when it comes to articles. Now we have to understand certain things. These are all the things which we already learned. Okay, now you have to understand certain powers of the president. Okay, so when it comes to powers of the president, you have to understand executive powers. Executive powers means, I told you, all the union executive actions are taken in the name of the president. That is, the president appoints the prime minister. He will appoint the prime minister. The president, all other ministers are also appointed by the president minister on the advice of the prime minister, which I already explained to you. Okay, he will appoint prime minister and he will also appoint all other ministers. Next, the president allocated the business among the ministers. That is, business among the ministers means what each minister has to do. That is told by the president to them. That is, what is the portfolio of that person. That is told by the president. You are the defense minister. But actually, that will be decided by whom? Prime minister. But it is told to them through the president. Because why? Constitution says that. Constitution says that you appoint the defense minister. Who is appointing? The president. You appoint the finance minister. You appoint the cultural minister. You appoint the tourism minister. Who? President. But who is deciding who should become that? Prime minister. Because he is the head of the party. He is forming the government. But appointment is done by the president through advice of what? Prime minister. This much you remember. Next, the president appoints Attorney General of India. Various appointments they are telling. If they ask appointments, if you think about central government at the central level, appointment, all the 99% appointments are done by president. See, Attorney General of India, CAG, Comptroller, Auditor General, Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner also. Okay, Chairman and member of UPSC. Okay, Chairman and member of Finance Commission, Chairman and member of Joint Public Service Commission. Sometimes some states may not have State Public Service Commissions. That time for two states combined, they may have JPSC, that is called Joint Public Service Commission. That president is appointed by whom? That chairman is appointed by president. And also Finance Commission. Finance Commission every 5 years. That is appointed. Chairman and members of Finance Commission is appointed by president. Even the governors of the states are appointed by president, and also appoints administrators of union territories. Union territories, I told you, Delhi and Puducherry, they may have CM, but when it comes to other union territories, okay, they are having lieutenant governors or administrators. They are appointed by whom? President, because union government has direct control over them. Okay, but union government, it is not that the prime minister will appoint them. Prime minister will have such and such a person should be appointed. It is appointed through the president. Got it? Next thing, appoints the commission to investigate into conditions of SC, ST and other backward classes. That is periodic review of the conditions, economic and social conditions of SCs, STs and other backward classes is done. Okay, there is a commission for SCs. Okay, that is commission for scheduled castes. There is a commission for scheduled tribes and also commission for backward classes. Okay, and commission for minorities also. So they have to annually put forward the report about the condition of these people. That commission has to study the condition of these people and have to create a report, and they have to put the report in front of whom? They have to put the report in front of the president. That is every year they have to put. Based on that, he will what? He will investigate the condition. You will see the report whether this is correct or not. He will investigate. Okay, that is the meaning of this. Okay, appoints interstate council to promote center-state cooperation. That is interstate council means Niti Aayog is also one kind of interstate council. That is so many states come together and sit in front of the prime minister and discuss matters. So interstate council is set up to discuss various matters regarding different states and also between center and state. It is between center and state and also state and states. Okay, that is interstate council. It is under article 263. When we discuss center-state relations, I will tell you. Interstate council is under article 263. The interstate council is what? Is set up by whom? President. Finance Commission, president. Interstate council, president. That's it. Now these are all what? Executive powers. That is, these appointments are done by central government, but actual appointment is done by central government. That is, prime minister will do it, but appointment, that is in letter or in the signature, is done by whom? President. That is why we call it as what? Appointment by the president. That is nothing but what? Executive powers. Now let us see the legislative powers. Before we go to the legislative powers, see here, I have to make one act. The act is that every day the school buses are moving between 8 to 9 am. That time there should be zero traffic, I will say, so that there should be safe travel of school buses and students should be happily traveling and there should be no traffic, only school buses should travel. That is the act, I will say. I know this is not practical, that is one bill I will put in the parliament. Okay, if I am the minister, I am called the public member. If I am not a minister but I am still the member of parliament, I am called what? Private member. If I am minister and I am putting the bill, that is called public bill. If I am the private member, that is I am member of the parliament but I am not a minister. That is, I have been elected. Suppose I am from Congress. Now BJP government is there. Okay, coalition government, whatever. I am from Congress. Think like that I am Shashi Tharoor. I am the member of parliament. I am from Congress. I have won from Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, I also put forward some bill, but I am not the minister. That I am private member. That is, bill is called what? Private bill. But suppose I am S. Jaishankar, that is External Affairs Minister. If I put forward the bill, that is called public bill because I am the part of the government. This thing you remember. Now suppose whoever it is, doesn't matter, private bill or public bill, the bill can be introduced in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. There is condition for this also. There is constitutional amendment bill, ordinary bill, money bill and all. I am not talking anything about that. I am just telling bill. Suppose a bill can be introduced here. Okay, they will pass it. They will send it here. Okay, then again they will pass. Okay, and they will send it back. Okay, or vice versa. They will put first send here, then here, and they will send it back. Anything can be done. At the end, they have to send it to president. Okay, the president has to sign the bill. That is called as what? They won't use the word sign. That is called giving assent to the bill. That is called as what? Giving assent. Assent to the bill. Okay, only when he gives assent to the bill will become an act. Okay, the bill will become what? Act. Now bill will become what? Act. Got it? This is what? This is nothing but what? Legislative power of the president. This is what? Legislative power of the president. Got it? This is the legislative power of the president. But does that mean that he always has to sign? No. There are certain cases where he can say that please check the bill again because I see some loopholes, I see some provisions which are against the constitution. That means he can send back the bill. That time the people will, parliamentarians, the MPs will check it again and they will send it back again. If they send it back again, definitely he has to sign the bill. He cannot send it back again. Only once he can send it back. That too with certain bills. But when it comes to money bill or when it comes to constitution amendment bill, it is a different thing. That I will not tell you now. But when it comes to some normal bill, you think that the president can send it back. But again, if they recheck or even if they don't recheck, if they send it again, the president cannot send it back. Only once he can send it back. If they send it back, if the after recommendations or without changes or with changes, if they send the bill again to the president, he definitely has to sign the bill. The bill will become what? Act. Okay, the president can send it back how many times? Only once. Second time when it comes, he has to sign it. Okay, now that power is called what? That power is called veto power. Now directly let me explain veto power. Okay, directly let me explain veto power. Before going to all this, let me explain veto power, then you will understand all this. No need to worry about this. Veto power of the president. Veto power of the president means the power of the president when it comes to signing the bill. Whether it can, see there are three things that he can do. When the bill comes to the president, first thing is he can sign the bill, next thing is he can send back the bill, and the third thing is he may not sign or he may not send back, he may not take any decision on the bill, he will keep it with him. That is, he is not taking any decision, that is like keeping in the pocket. Okay, suppose you give something, some food or something to give it to you, okay, I may not give, I will keep it with me, I may keep it in the pocket, that is called pocket veto. Okay, here so many vetoes, that is called absolute veto, suspensive veto, pocket veto and qualified veto. Qualified veto is not with the Indian president. Indian president doesn't have this. Qualified veto is with whom? It is with US president. So Indian president has how many vetoes? 3. What are those? Absolute veto, suspensive veto and pocket veto. Absolute, suspensive and pocket veto. Now let us understand what is absolute veto. To withhold his assent to a bill passed by a parliament, the bill then ends and does not become an act. Absolute veto means he says that I will not sign it. He will say that I will not sign it. That means what? The bill will not become an act. There itself it ends. Okay, there itself it ends. He will say that I will not sign it. There itself it ends. He will not become an act. That is absolutely he will remove it. Absolutely he will say that no, I will not sign it. There it will not become an act. Okay, that is absolute veto. Next is called suspensive veto. Suspensive means okay, this is the bill, I have some suspense, there is something suspense here, okay, I see some suspicion here, okay, it is not correct, it's something, there is no clarity, so let me check, please check it again and send it. That means return a bill for reconsideration of the parliament, but if passed again by the parliament, the president is bound to give his assent. That is what I told you. That is suspensive veto means I told you reconsideration. Suspensive means the word suspensive. Okay, he is suspicious about something with the bill. He is thinking that there is some hidden agenda here. So he will send it back, please give more clarity, please reconsider, he will say. That time the parliament people, they can check it again or without checking also they can send. But if they send it back again, the president cannot say I will not sign. The president cannot say I will not take any decision, I will keep it in pocket. No, definitely the president is bound to sign. That is what? Suspensive veto. Absolute veto completely will say no, absolutely will say no, I will not sign. That is absolute veto. That is withholding the assenting the bill. Withholding the assent. Withholding means he is not signing at all. Withholding the assent whenever it comes, it is absolute veto. Sending it back for reconsideration, that is suspensive veto. Pocket veto, the president neither ratifies. Ratifies means it is signing only. Another word for signing is ratifying. Ratifies nor rejects nor returns the bill, but simply keeps the bill pending for an indefinite period. No time limit is prescribed by the constitution. Okay, I told you when the bill comes, the president can sign, that is ratify, or he can reject the bill, or he can send back the bill. Rejecting the bill is absolute veto. Okay, sending back the bill is suspensive veto. And here is not signing also, he is not sending back also, he is not taking any decision. He is keeping with him for how much time? Indefinite period of time. Indefinite period of time means there is no time limit. How much time he can keep, that is also not specified in the constitution. Okay, that is the meaning of pocket veto. Got it? So that is the meaning of pocket veto. Absolute veto, what you will do? Absolute veto, what he will do? He will not sign at all, he will reject the bill. Suspensive veto, he will send it back. Once it comes back again, he has to sign. What about pocket veto? He will not do anything. He will not reject, he will not accept, he will keep it with him for indefinite period of time. That much you remember. Qualified veto, see, taking no action passed by the legislature, president was not with Indian president. He is not going to take any action. This is similar to pocket veto only, but here it is slight differences are there, that you need not worry. There is something called qualified veto that is not with us. That is not with Indian president. Indian president has what? Absolute veto, where he completely rejects the bill. Suspensive veto, send it back. Okay. Pocket veto, neither send it back, neither reject, neither sign, or neither ratify. Got it? That's it. Now, this is about veto powers of the president. Why it came? Because we are talking about legislative powers of the president. Another legislative power is, it is nothing but ordinance making power of the president. Ordinance making power of the president. So, we will discuss about ordinance making power of the president in the next class. Okay, we will discuss about ordinance making power of the president and also about pardoning power of the president or also financial powers of the president. This much is done means president will be complete. Got it? President will be complete. We will be discussing this in the next part because we don't have to overload you with so much of facts in one day itself. That's why we will be doing it in the next class when it comes to ordinance power. That is also legislative power. Next also pardoning power. That is how the president can pardon people who are sentenced or convicted. Then we will also learn about financial powers. So, I hope it was clear. So, in this session we discussed about the qualifications to become the president, conditions of president's office, also how the president can be removed and who all are involved in removal, all the members of the parliament, even elected and nominated, and states have no power. Okay. And we also discussed what? We also discussed when it comes to the powers of the president, that is legislative powers, executive powers. Executive powers, he appoints so many persons. Next we understood legislative powers, how the bill becomes an act, and we discussed about veto powers of the president, absolute veto, suspensive veto and also pocket veto. Qualified veto is not with the Indian president. Absolute veto he completely rejects. Okay, suspensive veto he sends back, and this one pocket veto he takes no action and he keeps with him. That is indefinite period of time. That's it. So, ordinance making power, all these things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you. Take care. Please revise again and we will deal with the remaining parts of the president in the next class. Take care.